Welcome to Beginning Algebra Lesson 1. Let's go over some basic rules first. Alright, algebra. It involves solving for an unknown number. Which could be an integer, rational, irrational, or anything like that. And we use a placeholder for this number that is called a variable. Okay? Now, typically, we use the letters X or Y as the variable to be solved for. Okay, let's go over your basic arithmetic rules: plus, minus, multiplication, and division. In algebra, plus and minus are coupled. So adding and subtracting are coupled, and multiplication and division are coupled. This is important to remember. But overall, think of it this way. It's nothing else but your basic arithmetic rules, which can be a little bit of a relief if you're just learning this. Okay, let's start with an example right away. Let's say we have x minus 5 is equal to 10. So what is x here? Well, intuitively, you can figure out that x must here be 15, because 15 minus 5 is 10. But let's apply those arithmetic rules. And we're going to solve it algebraically. So we have x minus 5 is equal to 10. My goal is to get x by itself. So if I subtract the 5 here, then I will have x minus 5 plus 5 is 0. So x is by itself. But if I added a 5 on one side of the equal sign, I must do the same on the other side of the equal sign. So now I have x plus 0 is equal to 15. So then x is equal to 15. Just as we figured out intuitively. The difference is we solved this mathematically with our algebra rules. Alright, pretty cool, huh? Great. Let's move on. And let's do another example. Let's say we have x minus 8 is equal to 3. So we want to have x by itself, and we're going to apply those rules again. So if I add an 8 here, then I will have x minus 8 plus 8 is 0, so I have x plus 0. But I must add the same number on the other side of the equal sign. So I add an 8. And 3 plus 8 is 11. So then I have that x is equal to 11. Alright, so again we solved it mathematically. Let's do it with some numbers that you cannot do in your head so easily. So let's say we have x minus 37.2 is equal to 10.4. Now, what is that? So what is x now? But let's just apply the rules. Think of it just like a cooking recipe. So we have minus 37.2, and if I add 37.2 here, but also remember I have to do 37.2 on the other side of the equal sign immediately. And then I have x plus 0 is equal to 4 plus 2 is 6, 0 plus 7 is 7, 1 plus 3 is 4. So then the answer is x is equal to 47.6. All right. Let's do some more examples. Let's do another one that's not so easy to do in your head, but we'll apply the rules again, just like a cooking recipe. Let's have y this time. So y minus 102.5 is equal to, let's have that is equal to 6.03. Again, just apply those rules. So add 102.5 on one side where the y is, and then add 102.5 on the other side. You have to keep the digits correctly aligned though. So now we have y plus 0 is equal to 3 plus nothing is 3, 0 plus 5 is 5, decimal point, 6 plus 2 is 8, nothing plus 0 is 0, nothing plus 1 is 1. So then you have y is equal to 108.53. All right. Still we just use those basic rules. So let's work with adding a number. So we have x plus a number. So we have x plus 10. And let's say that is equal to 15. So since we now had plus 10, we now must subtract a 10 on both sides, because subtracting the 10 gives x plus 0, and then it's equal to 5. 15 minus 10 is 5, so then x is equal to 5. So we always do the opposite sign. So let's say now we have x plus 23 is equal to 51. So to get x by itself, you subtract 23 on one side and subtract 23 on the other side. So then we have x plus 0 is equal to, borrow a 10 there, so we have 11 minus 3 is 8, and then now we have 4 minus 2 is 2. So x is equal to 28. All right. So I think you're just doing pretty good, right? Are you following along? Okay, let's recap here. So what we need to remember is that if you have a negative number on the same side of the equal sign as the side of the variable, then add that number to make it equal to 0. And if you have a positive number on the same side of the equal side as the variable, then you subtract that number to make it equal to 0. But the crucial part is you must do exactly the same on one side of the equal sign as you do on the other side. That is the most important thing. And the number to subtract or add is the one that is on the side of the variable. So let's say we now have 22 equals x plus 17. Now the variable is on the right side of the equal sign. That doesn't matter. It's still the 17 that governs what to do. And you must here subtract the 17 on both sides. So you then have x plus 0 is equal to, borrow a 10. So 12 minus 7 is 5. And then we have 1 minus 1 is 0. So here we have 5 is equal to x. However, it is customary to always write the variable on the left side of the equal sign once you finishing up your answer. So write x minus 5. Okay, let's do another one. So let's say we have 37.9 is equal to negative 31.2 plus x. So again, we must add whatever number here that was on the same side as the variable. So here we add a 31.2 on both sides of the equal sign. So then we have 0 plus x, and here we have 11, and then it's 10, and then 1 plus 3 is 7. So then 70.1 is equal to x. Or how we customarily write the answer, we say that x is equal to 70.1. Alright, that's it for this lesson. Let's summarize again. If you have a negative number on the same side as the variable, you add that number to make it equal to 0. If you have a positive number on the same side as the variable, you subtract that number to make it equal to 0. You must do exactly the same thing on both sides of the equal sign. Alright, hopefully I'll see you next time, and I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.